stream.
MLPDS 101, how to make courses look nice.
That was your 101 joke.
Oh, you didn't get that earlier, even when I said I'm gonna keep making
Yeah,
101
it's
jokes, and then explain that it's because it's the 101st stream.
the whooshing sound over my head all day long, man.
For
Wow.
context, this was said about maybe 12 hours ago, this joke, and now he's getting it.
Oh, I need to sleep more.
I'm glad that was on air.
I heard 101. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a Fallout joke because 101. Yeah.
I thought,
No.
like, on the phone, I saw a preview of the conversation, not the full thing, and I saw 101 critique something something, and I'm like, oh, are we gonna teach how to give critique today? Then I finally logged on and saw.
I mean, we could, but I don't know how we teach that. We just do it. Just do it, guys.
There's a post on the Reddit about it, how to give good critique.
Yeah, it's a pretty good post too.
Yeah.
Right. So let's do the art thing.
Yeah, that's art thing.
All right, shoe unit, you with us there, buddy? Are you there, buddy? I need an East Coaster person to say that for me. Are you there, bud? That's how they do it.
What accent are you trying
That's
to
East Coastin.
do?
Go-
East Coastin? I'm from the East Coast, and I have no idea
Canada.
what you're talking about.
Nova Scotia,
Oh, okay.
specifically.
That makes more sense.
Ali has been briefly thoroughly confused.
I
I'm like, is that New Jersey? Are you trying to be a New Jersey person?
no. Far too Canadian for that. So, shoe unit. But what's got any questions for us?
Waiting for shoe unit. That'll be our waiting song. I just made it up so it's not copyrighted, probably.
That makes sense.
Unless by a shit coincidence.
Blanket? Yeah, it makes sense. I see it rolling over the horse. I feel sorry for the butt, though. The butt's not going to be warm.
Brr.
I'm drawing blankets too. But got a tail. I hope that tail like covers the whole pony as a blanket of itself.
Some do. I mean, they look
Yeah.
really...
Twilight's looks like it'd make a great blanket.
You just want to just like into one of them, but I'm pretty sure the amount of cleaning that would go into them would be something similar to like a very done up hair, which is not cleaned that often, and you really want to just stay 10 feet away.
But ponies love their bubble baths.
Maybe. So yeah, your blanket makes a lot of sense. We even see it sitting on the ground. It curls around. You've done a good job of showing us shape without overdoing it. I do have a question about how small this picture is. Because either you're using a pencil that has comically thick graphite, I'm talking like one of those carpenter pencils, or this is just a very zoomed in picture. And if it's a very zoomed in picture, then boy, draw bigger. Because draw big or go home. I don't know. You aren't drawing on a post-it note. You should have a lot of space to 5.5 by. That sounds pretty big. How come this is so small?
8.5 inches. I don't know what that is in like centimeters. Probably like 20, 15. I don't know.
It's 23 or something. Yeah, anyway, because it's 12 for a ruler, which is 30 centimeters.
Okay.
Anyway, how is your pencil this thick? What? I'm confused by how this...
I mean, think about it. Usually with think about your normal, HB pencils, all the ranges. When that gets down to a nub, that's pretty thick, man. Not that crazy.
Alright. Oh no, the Gary storm has started.
I reawaken the Gary storm. Let it rain.
Alright, if that's your way, then it's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, from the initial look of it, it looks like you're just drawing on basically a post-it note and using your pencil for that, which is generally a bad call. Using the space is a good call, and it seems like you are. You just also use a hilariously thick pencil.
I honestly recommend it. For a while, I was drawing with 2.0 lead, and that was really fun. Just a giant lead holder.
That's all I use is those engineering lead holders, but not 2.0. Slightly smaller, I think. Maybe. I don't know. So let's critique. The picture could be a little more dynamic in its placement. We're like directly square onto that fireplace. And if we're to rotate this entire scene a few degrees, we could get some nice depth out of it rather than just sort of flat on. That's about all I got to say. It's a pretty simplistic picture, but not negatively simplistic. Like, it tells the little tale of her relaxing in front of the fire. Does its job, right? Anyone else with comments, critique, questions?
Not that I can really think of. No, I mean everything's pretty balanced, pretty well proportioned. I think it's good.
The fur looked dangerous. I carved it.
I'm trying to get my tablet pen to work. Oh god damn it, that's why.
I want to start shading. How would I go about that? Well, yeah, your fire's the light source, right? Or at least one of possibly several. So depending on how you actually want to approach the multiple light sources, easiest way is, just use the fireplace as the only light source in this room. And in that case, you're just going to start shading it as though they're 3D shapes. So you're going to drop the highlights on, or figure out where your highlights are going to sit, which is going to be everything along the edge of that fire, because she is turned towards us slightly away from the fire, so it's not actually going to completely cover her face with the light.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just going to shade against that. I wouldn't do it hard. I would leave it quite light, because there's no reason to go very high contrast on this. Especially because if you do, you're going to lose out on a lot of lines that are hanging around. So, like, if you're to say, well, I mean, that rump, it's not going to have any light on it because the only light is completely blocked by her. Well, now you just essentially just shaded it black. It's not going to help give definition to the picture. So, give it the assumption that the light is making the room glow a bit because a whole lot of reflected light. And let the picture not be dark. You can give it dark areas.
Yeah, but you're also gonna get like a lot of that rim light just like around the outline of her back and stuff, because just how close she is to the fire and how bright the fire is, you're gonna just get all this rim light touching her. It won't be, completely over her blanket, but she's gonna have that rim light around her.
Talk about yeah, you can darken it. It's all in what contrast you want to use. If you want to just give it a very light shading, a whole lot of reflected light hanging around, just do that. Just a light wash with your graphite there.
Mm-hmm. Like, you can always plan out this stuff lightly and then increase its darkness. Don't feel like you need to go in right away and make everything dark. It can all be gradual. Like you could give yourself like a light, you know, this little color in of this area because it'd be mostly dark. But if you just color it all black, then you won't see any of the little like blanket ruffles or anything. So just kind of like go through it and be like, okay, maybe this corner will be like the darkest part, maybe down here too, and some rims around here, and just really play with that and fill it in as you need to, just bit by bit.
Mostly worried about the bricks of the fireplace. I feel like the ones on the top look a bit too spaced out. They're are undoubtedly walls that have more cement between the bricks like that, but I don't know. Just looking at it as a drawing, it kind of feels like it looks more like a Tetris thing. Whereas the bricks on the bottom look fine. It's obviously the very simplistic, like basic brick style. I would just recommend trying to neaten those up a bit because the way they're layered looks a little bit unorganized. But that does at least look like a solid sort of wall. So you can still have a bit of a gap between them because then you are sort of showing that there's cement between these bricks. But maybe just tighten the gap up a little bit. That might give you what you're looking for. Oh, and you're worried that it takes attention away. I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind when I look at the picture is sort of around Sweetie Belle's face to maybe like the fire, like mostly it's Sweetie Belle or Bon Bon or whoever this is. Looks like Sweetie Belle. But like, yeah. I add. I don't know if you were trying to take away detail from the fire, but I don't think that's always the best. I don't think it steals too much attention in a way, but if you were to like line and color it, then that's your chance to like use like colors and tones and like darknesses and stuff to really bring about the attention you're trying to paint. But in a sketch, it can be a lot harder, which is why sometimes sketches end up looking a little bit messier because oftentimes our brains are like, where is this going?
All right. Any further questions there, Shoe Unit? Really, I think you should just go for it. Just go for it. Shade. I believe in you.
Try it.
What's the worst that happens?
You got this.
We
This
got
is why
this.
you never get attached to any of your art because it's bad for you.
Just super scared. I wouldn't say that, but
Well, I would say
But-
so. I mean, if you can't let go of something, how can you grow and move past it?
exactly. Like the bit of both. It's always important to find sort of love in if you do a piece that you're just super happy with, it's totally okay to be absolutely in love with that piece. But like clinging to every single piece is not like good. Like you said, Ali, you need to like be able to move on from things as well. Like having both of those is a good trait, I think, in
I don't
equal
know.
balance.
Well, no, I totally understand, but I think there's a difference between attachment because I think of attachment as like you need it or else, and there's a difference. Like
Yeah,
when you love
yeah.
somebody, you love it. You don't, you're not gonna like, if you love them, let them free, sort of
Yeah,
a
totally.
thing. You're
The
not
point is
tied
you're not.
to it.
The point is you
when
don't
you're
want to be working
attached.
on the same thing for weeks and weeks. You want to like just finish it in a couple of hours, a couple of days at most, and then like move on.
It's like that. What if I ruin it? It's like, so what if you ruin it? You're
Yeah,
gonna
so
make
what?
another 10 drawings maybe in the
You're
week.
gonna have bad pictures, and guess what? As I've said this before, in a year you're gonna look back on this and think it's bad anyway. So you might as well just finish it and move on. And as we said before, the more you draw, the more you're picking up different experiences over the different drawings that you're not going to get from just one. The worst, the drawing could explode. No, the worst is it could explode twice.
Whoa.
Look at me pulling out the season 2 references.
Flammable sketchbook. It's the new hot craze.
Aren't most of them flammable?
Well, okay. In my mind, it went a little deeper. Like you sketch with flint, and it's this whole
No,
thing.
it's flammable enough that like when you're drawing and when you really start getting into the sketching, like scribbling about with your pencil, it like sets fire.
All right.
You know.
It's allergic to big swooshy strokes.
Anyway.
On to the next.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna quickly talk Champlish here. Champlish isn't the picture we just scrolled to, so I'm actually gonna scroll down, so I don't
Alright.
confuse myself when I try and upload these videos. Champlish, buddy, you've submitted your art to us before, and that's great. We like people who submit art to us, but our critique is still gonna stay the same as it was. 4, 5, 6? I don't know how many months ago. Last time you submitted our art. I don't think digital is working for you right now. We would love to see you pull out references, as many references as you can find. If it has to be 1,000 references, so be it. Get some references. You're going to start sketching those references on pen and paper, pencil and paper, duct tape and paper. We don't care.
Crayons.
Find a medium that's erasable and easy to manipulate and is cheap. Thus, pencil and paper being probably the best of that world. And you're going to start sketching. You're going to start sketching a lot.
And it doesn't just have to be creatures, like sketching triangles and squares and maybe turning them into boxes and pyramids. Like just sketching, drawing, draw on pencil.
I disagree. I disagree completely. I don't mean this as an offense. I love to see people improving and working on art, but that picture, I can't make out what's going on. You said it's a black hole, and that's the only hint I have of what's happening here. Maybe it's a dog flying towards a black hole. It shouldn't be up to interpretation that much. And if it is, it's outsider art, or what's the other one? Someone fill in words here.
Abstract.
Thank you, abstract. If your goal is abstract, then cool. If it's CPC, it's in the Picarto chat.
No, it's not. That was PM to you.
Oh, my bad. Everyone is very confused with what I'm talking about. All right then, I'm just throwing it over here, and we're just so you guys can see it. It doesn't matter much though. We aren't actually talking about this piece of art in particular. We just like them to change their approach. So anyway, your approach. We'd like to see you crack out that pencil and paper and just start doodling, start sketching, start getting very comfortable with the medium. Because
I want to see start sort of just getting used to flowing shapes and just sort of understanding art from a perspective of shapes and lines first, and then sort of going into painting, because it's not going to work going into digital painting without having those like fundamentals put up first, I think.
Digital can be very annoying, especially because it appears as though you're actually just using a mouse for all of it, which is a further hindrance for you. You give yourself the benefit of the doubt, or give yourself a benefit here and go with pencil and paper. The ability...
And you can get like anything. You can get like a little notebook for yourself. It can be whatever kind of paper that a pencil will accept, just have fun with it. Make it your own notebook to, draw in and play in. It's your little playground of art. Yeah. Really have fun with that,
A ream of paper from the office store and a box of pencils costs you $6, and now you have 1,000 sheets worth of drawings and enough pencils to guide you through that.
That's true. And there's enough YouTube videos out there to teach you how to turn it into a notebook if you really wanted to.
I've seen that before. That always seemed interesting, but a whole other hobby in itself.
Yep.
Wasn't there someone in our subreddit or in our Discord who used to do that? Right.
They made some cute books.
Would have been cool.
But yes, that's really all the advice we can give you. A lot of it's really hard because a lot of the starting stuff is like you need to put the work in, and people can only tell you so much. And we believe you can do this. Like we said, just get out there, draw with pencil, work on shapes and drawing itself. Don't worry about color values and all that right now. That's a whole nother book. First, let's get on making shapes. You know, that's a really good first solid thing to learn. So,
Yeah, definitely.
unless you have any questions, I guess we'll move to the next person.
And like, if you really sort of wanting to practice stuff like this specifically, but like you're not sort of into painting, and as you said, going straight into digital really is not going to be good until you've gotten to a certain point of experience. You can always do other things like chalk, pastels, all kinds of stuff that you can mess with. Just if you want to look at pictures of galaxies and then try and replicate how the colors move and things like that. You know, there's all kinds of mediums that you can sort of practice with just to get that understanding in.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next one then, because it doesn't appear as
Sounds
though
good.
they have any further questions. If you have further questions, feel free to ask. We have a Discord. We can answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's not like right now. If you're just like, well, that was overwhelming. I have to take a break. That's fine. Take breaks. Come back. We'll still be in the Discord. We might not respond instantly, but eventually someone's going to respond. All right, so let's talk this picture. This picture is by The Art of Doing Science. Love that freaking name.
I like that name.
Yeah. And it's called Here We Go, The Dazzlings by the Guy with the Pen. Got a lot of names.
That's also great.
We've seen this first picture here. Whoop, that one. Already, and we've critiqued that one. It appears as though the alterations we suggested weren't done, but that's the body was shrunk a bit.
I believe I believe they said they were finished when they posted it. So
Oh, okay.
I think they were looking for like critique after the fact.
All right, well that's fine. That's about 3/4 of what we get is finished art. Hey, what do I do for the next one? So same bit of critique for the necks here. Long necks.
Mm-hmm.
Although they are like sirens, and those things had really, really long necks in MLP, because they're just like all neck. It's a little weird like tail thing. But I don't think that it holds true to the humans. So
Yeah.
I shrink down their neck, and I have good news for you. There is a very good reference between your shoulder and head for this. You can use yourself as a reference, especially while drawing humans. A lot easier to use yourself as a reference for humans than horses. So
Really?
go stand in front of the mirror, grab your hands, grab the ruler if you need it, and start measuring yourself up to compare that stuff. Because you're the reference. It's great. I freaking love your hair.
The hair is very lovely. I love all the textures and differences of them. Like you got the nice wavy things going on and the nice straight. Just you have very nice details that it's not too detailed, but it's enough to give that feel of strands while also being in chunks. So that's really nice.
Mm-hmm. And I like...
Go ahead.
Sorry. I like the overlap we have going on here, and I'd love to carry it on right here. Because her hair is behind her arm here, but it looks like she's close enough. Their shoulders are almost touching. So I'd want to put her hand in front of there, and it would give us the idea that they are standing very, very close to each other if they did that. Because her arm has gone forward. We can see it's actually the most forward part of her body right now.
I think the only reason not to play devil's advocate is that maybe they're doing the she's in front and these two are like right behind her. Sort of that, triangle.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Just the disappearing hand. I almost just want to show it. Although I also hate drawing fingers, so I can totally understand hiding stuff. Hide the hand! Less fingers to draw!
Don't go with the excuse.
I need a bigger mane to cover everything. No pony neck, no
This
body.
way I don't have to draw the other ear. Make it cover half the face so the eye symmetry is not a problem.
This pony is an eye and hair.
I think the only other big issue standing out to me is the one we talked about when we reviewed it last time, is that these chests on both these girls are super long, super long. Here on Adagio,
Yeah.
what's her name? Right? Hers is nice. It feels fit. It feels like it's part of the body and it's not the entire chest. Where these two girls just have very long chests and breasts. It just feels very just like long, like majority of their chest is the breast. Like it's hard to describe. But hopefully, yeah, that's something to definitely watch out for. Even, if you're dealing with different anatomy sizes of certain parts of the body, it's just they feel so long that it's sort of not uncanny, but just something feels off.
Mm-hmm. Freaking love the texture once again. Oh man, your texture's good, and the way you do your folds on the clothes, it's just
Those are
enough
nice.
to give wonderful shape and say, hey, it's clothes, not a second pair of skin, but not too much to go, why did you just drape a closet on them? Like, get some better fitting clothes. It's good. You've done a good job with it.
Really, I do love the clothes. Like, I think that's my favorite part. The hair and the clothes. Those are my two favorite.
We looked at the Sonata, I think, last time, didn't we? So it's great to see like the progression there, and the other characters as well. So I honestly love the style. Like the colors have such a nice balance.
All right. Anyone else for any piece of critique on this one?
I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Look forward to your next piece.
Yeah. Well, we did see their next piece. Prepare to be assimilated into the fun squad.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and it was another good picture. Another picture that exemplified a lot of this texturing and fine detail work that they seem to be very, very good at. Anyone else with art they'd like critiqued?
Throw it at our
Make
faces,
sure
pretty
to
please.
throw it very hard, because LD's all the way in Canada and I'm all the way in England, and Ali's all the way in America. If you don't live in the US, you have to throw it pretty hard.
Like a boomerang.
Or just send it to Discord or whatever.
Discord, that's easy.
Who wants to do things the easy way when it comes to art?
Kijiji. Let's see how much a sailboat is so I can make it over to you. Needs to be a big enough sailboat that it can deal with ocean. It's going to be hard. Oh, I don't think Catalina's big enough. Well, that one will do it. Steel hull? Totally. 25,000. Let's do it.
Perfect.
That's
Now we just gotta stock up for the travel.
36 feet. We're good. Oh, it's all wood paneling inside. Every last bit of it.
So
You're
it's
actually looking
flammable.
at boats. I like the way you said that, Ali. It's flammable. That's good.
Kinda pretty.
Champagne-ish is asking how many pictures can we do or post?
Just
For the
one each for the
stream, we try
stream.
to do one each so everyone has a turn.
Yeah.
But if you're
At
in
least once
Discord,
each week, anyway.
yeah. If you're in Discord, feel free to post. Some people may not respond right away. Just give it time and ask if don't just post a picture and not say anything, because some people just think you're showing a picture. Always ask if you want critique or not. It's always helpful to get the conversation started.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Allie.
What?
This is only $50,000. And it's 42 feet long. It's got
Whoa.
2 masts.
Only 50,000? That's a bargain.
Well, I mean, for a sailboat that big it is. That's a big boat. All right. It sounds like no one else has art for us this week.
A quickie stream.
I like it. Reminder, we have a 2-year thing coming up. Likely, we're going to be skipping Christmas week because we all want to bail and hang out with our families.
Christmas.
Okay, let's be honest. We want to hang out with our families for like an hour and then hide.
Presents. But yeah, so 2 years coming up soon. We might do something fun for that, even though we just had our 100th stream party. Who knows? It's fun to do fun things,
It'll
right?
be like a month and a half away. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
There's enough time in between.
yeah. We'll be ready for more pizza and more shenanigans.
This time, everyone buys Zom 6 pizzas.
We already learned it's impossible to buy me pizza.
You will find a way.
We will.
Even if it means you driving down to my place, and we'll get you pizza.
Well, wouldn't that be a stream? And I'm at Allie's place. Allie, I need your tablet. Move out of my way.
Fighting for desk space. That's just
No,
for
I
the
just-
entire stream.
I just burst through the wall with CPC. It's like, this
Here's
It's a
not that
one-bedroom apartment, guys. I can't host everyone.
bad. We'll all just fight for the same tablet. It's okay. It's all good.
Silly times. Silly times.
oh my god, that boat's
What do you
gorgeous.
expect in this MLPDS?
This is the home of the silliness. Brought to you by Silly.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not-
Because we invented it.
Wahaha.
Dude, this boat's really cool.
Next time on MLPDS, LD buys a vote.
It's got outriggers on it, but it's a monohull. That is so weird.
Cool.
I gotta send this.
that is.
Send this to people who are just like, what the heck's going on? Oh yeah, we're gonna end the stream. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Okay,
Thanks for
market.
coming. Join the Discord. Yada yada.